Can you handle this? Can you handle the truth? All right, so the markets got crushed yesterday. I have no clue what the futures are doing today. It looks like the job came in better than expected. So we got Dow futures tumble again today. All right, so we're down another 1,100 points in the futures. So we'll see. Anyway, can you handle a major decline? Because it's never happened before. We've never had major declines. So let's just take a gander. I want to show you something here. Asset ownership rates for households, median value of holdings, and the distribution net worth by asset type in 2000 to 2002. So we're going to start in 2000 right here. And we're going to come over here to 401k and TSP. All right, so the median value of 401k and TSPs back in 2000 was $21,000. The median value at the end of 2002 was $18,000. So we went from 21.5 to $18,000. So we're down. Well, we take our trusty calculator. We say 21,450 minus 17,894 divided by 21,450. We were down 16.5%. Interesting. Let's take a look here. IRAs and Keogh accounts. Oh, they're down 20%. 25,000, basically 26,000, 20,000 bucks. Crazy, was it not? Yes, it was. All right, now our interest earnings was only down a little bit from 4,300 to 4,000. Other interest earning accounts was down just a little bit from 31,000 to 30,000. Right? Checking accounts down a little bit. Stocks and mutual fund shares were down 50%, amigos. Stocks and mutual fund shares down 50%. Wow, so you just said, I can't take it anymore. I'm getting crushed. And then we go over here to, equity in a home. What the? Equity in a home went from 63,000 to 73,000. That is an increase of 16%. Rental property went from 75,000 to 100,000. Other real estate went from 43,000 to 45,000. Interesting. So as you can see right there, but Josh, don't you know people I got hair someplace in my eye. People are paying down their debt, which increased their equities. Oh, the same thing doesn't apply here to 401k and IRAs. People weren't adding to it. Dollar cost averaging into these accounts. Very interesting. Can't have both ways. Anyway, were you able to handle that? So let's just take a gander and just say you were able to handle that. You got, so the median account in your 401k is $17,894. So let's go over here. Go to valueinvesting.io, and a couple of y'all had sent this tool to me. This actually tool is pretty good. I'm getting used to it now. It's I just like Portfolio Visualizer, but because I'm so used to it. But this is actually starting to become my go-to for back testing because it actually goes back even further than Portfolio Visualizer. So whoever's run these guys, you're freaking crushing, my friends. Whoever's doing, I don't like the color code here, but it's fantastic. Anyway, so if you're going to go to valueinvesting.io, you got to sign in, and then you want to go to related tools right there, and it was what was it here? Deep research. There's one of these up. You got to go up here someplace. Portfolio tools, right there. There it is. Yeah, it's not intuitive or conspicuous, I should say. So you got to click on that right there, zero, and then you got to go to portfolio tools, and I'll take you here. All right. Anyway, so we're going to look at Vanguard. We got the S&P 500. We had $17,000 invested at the end of 2002, and we just said, no, we're going to let it run. We're not adding anything to it. We're just going to let it run. What's our portfolio worth now in 2025? You ready? Holy crap-oly, it is worth how much? $125,000. We've averaged a compound annual growth rate of 9% a year. So we go 72 divided by 9. That means what, 8? 72 divided by 9. Yeah, it means we double our money every 8 years. And that includes the right there, the destroying of wealth in 2007, 8, and 9. Anyway, the point being was you did just fine if you stood the course. You just did. Now, this doesn't pull any money out, I'll grant you. Why? Because we want to use the barbell for pulling money out. That's the whole point about the barbell, because I just showed you the cash accounts, checking accounts, and various things like that stayed pretty flat during those times. I wonder if there's some other way we could have minimized downside risk. I wonder if there's some other way we could have minimized downside risk. Our equity was growing in our home. The housing, in fact, let me just show you. I wonder if there's, Josh, is there some other way? because a median value for assets in equity in a home was 73,000 in 2002, which is significantly higher than what it was in 2000. Interesting. Percent of households that own that type of account, 68% had the median value was $73,000, which meant it went up. It didn't go down. And the vast majority of people, well, not the vast, but 2/3 of the people had ownership in a home. And those people had ownership in a home. The median value was $73,000. Dwarfs how many people had a 401k IRA in terms of what they had as well. I'm just throwing out there. I wonder if there's another way you could have used your equity to offset some of the downside risk. I just leave that for you guys to figure out. I'm just wondering, just throwing it out there, because one thing we don't want to do is be selling in a fire sale when the markets are getting crushed. That's just dumb. Another thing we'd like to do is take advantage of the ability to have tax-free income. I'll leave that for you guys to figure out. All right, God bless. Love your thoughts. Smash that like button. Where I'm going with this is we've been through this. 2000, 2001, 2. The Dow was down 9, 11, 22% respectively. The first quarter of 2003 was down another, 10%? So we were down significantly from 2001 and 2 into the first quarter of 2003. October 1st to March 9th of 2009. October 1st, 2007 to March 9th of 2009. The S&P, I say the Dow, meant the S&P. The S&P 500 was down 57%, amigos. We had 19.8% Q4 of 2018 or 19, I can't remember. We're down 22% top to bottom in 2022. These are just equities. We were down about 33% in the first quarter. First quarter of 2020. This stuff happens, dude. It happens, and just that, does that mean it'll always go? We don't know. I don't know the future. I'm not God. I'm not Jesus. I don't know. But what I do know is, if you would have held on, you would have been just fine. Can I guarantee you'll have to be just fine? No. But that's why you have the barbell or some other methodology to reduce your downside risk, so you don't have to pull money out of a market that's falling like a free fall. All right, God bless, smash, and love your thoughts. We'll see you.